In this episode of the Afterwalk, I'll be showcasing a photo story about a cafe that I photographed for the entire day in 2016. Now, my mate, Devin, he was the barista in the cafe, and I was given the opportunity to photograph the activities at the cafe. Here's the story. I remember it was rather a warm morning the day I photographed at the bench. The cafe is located just slightly off Melbourne City, and my barista friend works there, and I were asked to run a version of a day set series at the cafe, which I thought is interesting insight for me. If I were to visit a cafe on a normal day, it would be way in their opening hours, and I'll get a cup of coffee and leave. This project gave me the insight, pretty much how a day is at a cafe. Prep starts an hour before the cafe is open for a cup of morning coffee, topping up coffee beans into the grinder's hob, fresh pastries deliveries, dialing in the espresso machines and prepping the station. Devin is making me my first cup of coffee of the day. Great to kickstart the photo project and perks of having a barista friend. Customer starts coming when the cafe was open, ready at 7. Coffee culture is huge in Melbourne. I would say it's rather unique in Melbourne or even Australia, because cafes like these are aplenty where even established coffee chains like Starbucks, Coffee Bean, Costa Coffee aren't able to gain footprint in Australia when compared with the rest of the world. Now, smack in the morning, the cafe was busy selling coffee. Now those are hot cross buns at the foreground. It's March 2016 and it was around Easter time when this series of photographs were taken. Essentially, Slater Street Bench is a coffee-centric cafe. There are 4 baristas running the cafe on the day of shooting, and all rotating and taking turns in different workstations, be it at the espresso machine or the cashier. I can attest that their coffee is delicious, but then again, I'm biased, quite biased. There are 4 hot cross buns here. Now take notice of the time. My question is, how fast does the Slater Street Bench sell 2 hot cross buns? Now leave the answer in the comment section below. These are Slater Street Bench cold brew, white and black. They are amazing. I personally love the white one. Now if I remember correctly, Devin developed the recipe for these cold brew coffees. The morning crowd dies down as Devin catching up with some mundane work with stamping of the bench logo on the takeaway cups. 1 extremely hot chocolate in the docket. It was relatively a busy morning, and lunchtime is upon all of us. Everyone took turn to break for lunch, and afternoon crowd comes in after lunch for their second cup of coffee of the day. The crowd, however, didn't really pick up that afternoon. I've got to say that afternoon was lesser to photograph, and also mainly because most of the shots have been made in the morning. And perhaps there will be more to photograph later in the evening as the light changes. Being at the Slater Street Bench the entire day, I witnessed the light changes. The evening light spears into the cafe, and I thought, albeit a little bit harsh, and since David wanted a portrait of himself for work, as I recall, so we took the portrait of a barista then. My coverage ended as Devin's shift ended at 4 p.m. It was a rewarding day at work for me. I had countless cups of coffee, and good coffee I must add, and more importantly, I have a collection of photographs to safekeep for the project. A day at photo series is a personal project of mine that I've been doing where I go to a certain place or I photograph a subject for a whole entire day. I've photographed them 4 years ago and many things has changed. For one, my barista friend Devin, he's no longer the barista at the Slater Street Bench. And for two, I haven't been back to the bench for close to more than a year. Now there's a few more of these a days at, and I've shot a days at Burke Street for a couple of years, and if you haven't watched those in my YouTube channel, they are right here. So thank you for watching this video. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe if you love the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.